Hey, what's going on? Gonna be a day late on the upload. Interesting weekend, that's all I have to say. Yeah, nobody wants to hear what my weekend was like. So it's Monday morning. I just watered the plants. I wasn't here all day yesterday. Plants are a little worse for wear. The cucumbers, I harvested a bunch of cucumbers the other day, and they're just continuing to grow. So what's really interesting is, as hot as it is, so this one's firm. This one, not too bad, but the ones I picked the other day, they felt soggy. So because of heat, when I originally picked a couple and I tossed them, I'm like, oh, these are nasty. And I'm like, you know what, let me water this and let me check back in the morning. The other ones that were soggy firmed right back up. So that's kind of interesting. The beans are taking a beating with the heat. They're not doing real well. The rattlesnake beans, which I was hoping would start kicking in, so some of them are doing a thing. It's really weird. These are rattlesnakes, but they don't have any stripes. But these are actually ready to pick. You can find, there's not a lot of fuzz, but they're ready. But I'm not ready to pick them. And then these would be the dragon tongues. Some are ready, some are not, some are overgrown. And these snap peas have just been tortured the last few days. It's getting water, it just doesn't like it. So, the other beans I need to pick. They're still doing their thing, but they're really poor things. Look at all the tomatoes. I got more tomatoes than I can actually eat. Especially with the, so these are the sweet 100s, and these are the Juliet grapes. And apparently the one in front is a Juliet of some sort. That's this way, let's go this way. The early girl, still kicking out a few tomatoes. They've been pretty decent. Skin is a little thick on these. I don't know if it's because of the heat that I have or just the variety. There's actually a ripe one in there I'm going to pick right now, but I wanted to see if what's on here is actually right. This is the red snapper. These are one of the ones from Haas Tools. And there's a good sized mater hanging out in there. Oh, it's rotten. Damn, ain't that the luck. I saw this from the top. I'm like, oh, look at that. And then, geez, look at this. And that, just the pits. That's just lovely. Thought I was going to pick a ripe mater and go at it. I think this one's the black creme. Yeah, this is the black creme, so those apparently are notorious for being difficult. So that would make this one either the Bella Rosa or the red snapper. This is the Bella Rosa. Oh, and that tomato is rotten or got eaten. I'm gonna call this one Blossom. I'm gonna call them Blossom and Rot. Something rot, because something tore that up. So, man, I'm 0 for 2. That's pretty sucky. The Sun Golds just starting to ripen, so a couple of those are ready. A couple of those are on the way to being ready. And again, just watered like 2 minutes ago, so the purple sweet potatoes, very prolific, but they're not wilty, but they're a little droopy. They'll perk up by tonight. Then everything else is just kind of status quo. There are some figs hanging out on the fig tree. hopefully they won't rot in the heat, and I'll be able to try one this year, because last year wasn't too great. Apples are really sad. Pretty much everything is either falling off or rotting on the branch. I do have a decent sized one there, and a couple on this one. Everything else, not a darn thing. And same thing with this apple. The lemons are doing well. There's a gaggle of them down there, a bunch on here, so that's doing pretty good. I trimmed this up, I think last week, I might have covered that. This one doesn't have as many, but as you look, you know, there are some. It's kind of funny, this is twice as big as this one, and this one has probably twice as many. This was from, I think, the nursery, and that was from Walmart, of all places. And the same thing with these limes. This, I think, was from the nursery. And there's a fair amount of limes on this one. I mean, they're all over, but the Walmart one, of all places again, has, I don't know, maybe they're equal on this one. It's kind of hard to tell as your eyes focus, because, you know, the green is similar in color. That's really it. Oh, I did harvest potatoes. I'll try to snap the harvest. So some of them I thought were still growing, and let's just say the seed potato on the bottom was rotting, and one was really disgusting. And when I tipped the bucket over, there was, I want to say hundreds, probably not hundreds, there was, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens of flies apparently creeped up the bottom of the bucket. And as I was picking through it, instead of the buckets over here, the flies were just swarming the rotted potato and the dirt that was in there. So it was really disgusting, and enough to knock you out with the stench that was in there. But so the Yukons did okay, the blue ones did okay, the Kennebecks did really well, actually. There's a couple of good sized potatoes, and there was one red, two whites, the blues and yellows. Yeah, so the white ones were the biggest potatoes, and I'm gonna guess the blue ones probably had the most, but it's kind of hit or miss. And well, there was one red, and then one red from like a month ago. So onions aren't doing too great. Some of them are doing okay still, and then some of them are on the last legs or they're dying off. So the heat's just killing everything. So that's it for updates. Like I said, I'll try to get the potatoes. They're in the buckets in the house, but I'm actually just watering the plants, and I have to get back inside and do work. So thanks for watching, and catch up with you next week.